Hey, what's up? This is Matt with Let's Talk Music. I'm here as the King of Clubs with Erik from Escape the Fate. What's going on, man?
Hell yeah, just another day in a life of rock and roll, you know? Waking up, kicking ass, taking names.
Hell yeah. So, Erik, you guys just played Blue Ridge not too long ago. Did you actually get to play, or did it get canceled?
So that's funny wording you say there. We were at Blue Ridge. We had a performance scheduled. We did not play, though. So, yeah, the festival got rained out. It got flooded. And we were the act setting up on stage when the hurricane came. Oh. So, you know, we're literally like going out. I see my guitar tech, Skyler. He's out there. He's getting ready to check a guitar. And then the water starts to come, and we're like, all right, this is cool. It's been a hot day, dry. Everybody's miserable because it's so hot. So that little bit of rain comes, and everybody in the audience is screaming. We're all so happy. And then I see the water start to hit some of the electronics. So I'm like, all right, let me go and we'll save those really fast. And in between that thought and walking there, the gates of hell and the flood just came in. And I mean, like, it was dangerous. The video walls that they had hung up started shaking. We heard thunder off in the distance, and like the stage managers were just like, everybody get the off stage right now. And they like rushed us off. We had to leave our gear up on there because it was a life hazard, you know, like if thunder hit the stage wasn't grounded, everybody would have been electrocuted, right. Which it did. It got hit twice by lightning after we got off. So thankfully we're all alive and healthy. But yeah, we did not get to play Blue Ridge. It did cancel, and I heard another day got canceled too on Blue Ridge as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't see a whole lot about it. I just went by what, you know, I seen on Facebook and YouTube. But, you know, I seen you guys were scheduled to play. You started in Salt Lake this tour, correct?
Correct.
And you guys are out on support for the Out of the Shadows release for your album.
Yep. Brand new album. So that's what this whole tour is about, is sharing the new music and sharing our new mission and goal as a band. Out of the Shadows.
12 tracks, correct?
What was that?
12 tracks? I'm pretty sure it's 12.
We're going to have to double check. See, this is going to drive me crazy because we had a track listing right up until like the final hour, and last minute we kind of decided to pull one of the songs, which is why in my head I keep going, this is 13 songs. It is 12. I had to fact check myself there. I was a little worried.
I remember checking, and I think at first it did say 13, and then it was down to 12. I was like, okay, well.
It is 12. We wrote a lot of songs for this album. So, I mean, yeah, even up until the final moment, we were still kind of like picking and choosing a couple and deciding what to do. And I think maybe the day before track listing, we cut one. So that's my excuse for not knowing how many songs are on my own album.
No problem. So, Cheers to Goodbye, correct? Mm-hmm. That one featured Spencer Charnas from Ice Nine Kills.
Correct.
How was he to work with?
Very friendly, very nice. It was really smooth. We didn't get to work with him directly too much, unfortunately, because around the time where our singer Craig had the idea of that he would be a great fit for this song, they were on tour. Just nonstop.
Right.
So we kind of had to work things the best we could around the schedule, but he did come down. He recorded with the producer, John Feldman, and the vibes were just great. John immediately texted Craig the next day after recording and was like, this song's a single for sure. Whereas like before, you know, we're all kind of like, we like this song. We think it's really good. And then just that little bit of extra spice from Spencer coming in and just tied the song together. And we knew that, like, this is what we got to put out.
Yeah, that dude's something else, man. I've followed him for a while. He's featured on all kinds of albums. You know, I mean, people love to guest him. I mean, I heard he's really cool. You know, never been able to talk to him, but hopefully someday.
We love theatrics.
We want to chat. So I know that the bass or the drummer, that's a new instrument, people. The drummer is the only original member. How long you been in the band?
So the history of that's a little fun. I've been with the band for about 6 years now. And I kind of came in as a session player in everything tech. So I would just set up the stage manage, get the drums built, get everyone's guitar set up every day, get all the electronics going good. I did that for a really long time, and then about 2 years ago, I came fully into the band and started writing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon anymore for a lot of lineup changes. I mean, and I started when I first got the request to do the interview, I was just looking into the history of the band. And, I mean, I honestly, I listened to some of the older stuff, and I feel like this album is just fucking fire, dude. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I was jamming it on the way up here, and my people behind the camera back there are into different things. The one that is, she's into K-pop a lot, but she heard "Cheers to Goodbye" and she was like, "Oh my God, I really like this."
Awesome.
So and you guys have released about 8 of those songs now on YouTube?
For this album?
Yes, because there's all kinds of audios. There's one video.
Got 3 music videos total. But I think we uploaded audio for everything on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. So it should all be available wherever you want to hear it. There's audio at least. We need more music videos though, I think.
Any of those in the works or plans in the future?
Not yet. I think our plans for the future are to keep moving forward. With these songs and this album, it's my first time writing with the band, and we brought in a new lead guitarist, so we have kind of a new fresh look on our guitar solos going on. I really feel that this album is just scratching the surface of what we are capable of. It was really about finding what we wanted to do, uniting as a band, and really, really honing in what we knew Escape the Fate was and could be.
Right.
So this album's just the start. So I think going forward, instead of trying to keep doing more promotion for what's going on, I think our plans are to just keep moving ahead and ahead and ahead and just keep being better than we were the day before.
Sounds like a plan, man.
Yeah.
So you guys, are you currently, I know you're on tour and everything, but I mean, you got time in between stops. Are you writing anything while you guys are out on the bus, or?
Absolutely. So I take a studio with me when I record. I take a studio with me when I tour. Of course, I have a studio when I record. I bring it out. Yeah. It's my new profession in a band, being the drummist. We do write. We have mobile recording rigs. We'll be tossing ideas back and forth. But I think our plan is, and we don't have it locked in, but we kind of want to try to do the classic rock and roll band thing where go send the band somewhere, separate them from the world, and just write music for a month.
Yeah.
So we want to try. I think we're going to try to do something like that here soon. But we're always writing. I mean, I wrote a song yesterday. We never stop.
So how does that creativity come to you, man? I mean, has that always been something that you've been blessed with, or is it just something you recently started doing?
So one of the fun things I've realized about creativity is I feel like a lot of us have that. Especially when it comes to music. I work as a producer at home, so I work with tons of different levels of artists.
Right.
And what I've come to find is that a lot of people have the ideas. It's in here. Mm-hmm. What to do, what's going to sound good. But then when you try to translate it from what's in your head or in your heart to a physical realm, that's where translation gets lost. So I feel like I always had that creativity, but I had to develop the skills through just practice and getting older to actually what I hear up here, mm-hmm. to be able to present it accurately. I feel like that took a long time for that skill to develop, and I feel like that's a skill that you'll probably never stop developing.
Right.
But yeah, that creativity's there, and I feel like it's there for everybody.
Well, I guess I can agree in some sorts because, like I said, I've been a fan of music since I was tall, and I always retain the information that
mm-hmm.
From MTV, VH1. Used to buy Hit Parader magazine. All that shit. Used to just love it, and I've retained all that. And I mean, I couldn't tell you what I did 3 days ago. So
for sure.
I mean, I get where you're coming from with that. Never really. try to write anything as far as music or anything like that. I don't know whether I could or not, but I find it as, you know, it's a very special talent. Playing your instruments is a very special talent, and the fact that, you know, there's 5 of you can get, you know, on that bus out there and be cramped up for an entire, you know, couple months for a tour, and you're playing all these different shows, and you get sick, and you know, you get moody, and shit happens at home. I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize, outside of being rock stars, you're humans, you know.
What's the word? Oh, subjectively, sometimes we're humans. I don't know, man. Like, we get a little weird at times. I'm convinced I could be an alien at sometimes, you know. We're a little weird.
Hey, man, no problem with that. My first alien interview. Sweet.
There you go.
So tonight, man, you guys are here at the King Clubs. We're gonna be rocking out. What do you look forward to from the audience here in Columbus tonight?
That's a good question. So we have some special songs in the set that I like to feel are very crowd reliant. We do a cover song, which is unique to us because the band has never done a cover live before. At least not a cover that wasn't like published, you know? So like, this is a cover that you can't hear anywhere other than like maybe a YouTube live video rip. So we do a Def Leppard cover of Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Oh, hell
so
no.
what I'm looking for from the fans tonight is I need to hear some Pour Some Sugar on Me being screamed right in our faces.
I think you'll definitely hear that. Have you played Columbus before?
I have played Columbus.
Yeah, so you know Columbus it's a rock town.
Absolutely.
I mean, we got our country fest that happens at the Horseshoe, you know, OSU Stadium. That was pretty huge, but when it comes down to it, man, you know, it's rock and roll around here. Sonic Temple sold out like that. I mean, yeah. So it's we love our rock and roll, man. And I mean, this venue is, you know, was started by Cue Ball, that's, you know, in a band, X Factor 1. And I feel like that made him so good as a club owner because the prices for food, for beer, for everything. And, you know, I from what I understand, he doesn't take merch from, you know, proceeds from the merch. You know, some venues are starting to do that now.
Hats off.
Right. And that's your guys' bread and butter.
Absolutely.
I mean, since, you know, album sales are not really a thing anymore. And I've heard that, you know, Spotify's like pennies on the dollar for each, you know, time it plays or whatever.
Oh, yeah. We're
So
talking 0.0003 cents every spin or something along those lines. Yeah.
So, I mean, unless you're backed by, you know, a label, you know, a huge label, it's hard to really make it out there anymore. So, I mean, when you guys go out, you know, your plans are rock this fucking show, sell some merch, and one of my favorite parts, especially with the small venues, is you guys get out and mingle with the fans. You know, you're not running off stage, heading to the next venue. You're out there, you know, like, hey, thanks for coming, whatever. And that's a lot more personable, and it means more, I think, to the people than what you guys understand.
That's nice to hear. Absolutely. We do love connecting with the fans. I mean, a few of us, like Craig and Rob, they Twitch stream a lot. I used to Twitch stream more. I try to as much as I can, but the music takes all the time. But we definitely, as a band, love giving back that interaction with the fans. Like, if you really want to find one-on-one time, or even like more intimate time where you can get direct with the band and talk, ask questions, you know, we're pretty accessible in comparison to other bands of our size because we do really enjoy that personal connection with the fans. We enjoy knowing the people that want to hear us, and I feel like that helps our growth as a band too.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. It's a give and take relationship. I mean, especially when it's, you know, when you're playing, you know, you're giving, we're taking in, we're giving, you're taking in. You're like, oh man, you know, the crowd was great last night. You know, how many times I've heard that at a concert, like, oh man, the crowd we had last night was awesome. And, you know, and I mean, you guys are a great band. So I'm sure that the reactions are going to be great tonight, especially with that cover, because, I mean, shit.
So there's some Def Leppard fans here, probably.
Oh yeah, they was just here not too long ago. A couple months ago they was here with Motley Crue, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Alice Cooper.
Wow, and what a collection of artists too.
Yeah.
I can't miss that.
Yeah, I actually unfortunately did, but yeah, I wasn't happy about it. A lot of people I know on Facebook was posting, they was all dressed up in their 80s shit, and I'm like, whatever, guys, I don't even want to see it. So, but just one last question for you, man. I'll let you get started. We talked about pre-interview that you're out of the Phoenix area, and the band is based out of Las Vegas, correct? Or that
founded in Las Vegas.
Founded in Las Vegas,
yeah. I think we still kind of call it hometown, but most of us are based in Phoenix these days.
Okay, because I was wondering, because when we talked, about otherwise, Adelita's Way, those are a couple of bands that I've talked with that are out of that area, and I was just wondering, so what's the music scene like in the Phoenix area?
That's really fun to talk about. So when I was younger and I was trying to start bands and I was trying to just make any fans get out there however I could, we had a really cool and unique music scene that was actually pretty spearheaded by Zachary Yoshioka, who manages Escape the Fate now.
Oh, okay.
And he was just on a grind. If any tour was happening ever, he made sure he had it, and he brought it in, and then he made sure that he had local bands that were ready to play all those shows and support all these national acts. So Arizona for a really long time had this great thing where if you were a band that put in the work and effort, there were like almost guaranteed opportunities for you to face fans and be in front of new fans. And now what I'm realizing now that he's not doing that so much, Arizona is kind of taken on more of a community approach to growing music. And it's really cool getting to see all these young artists and smaller artists, instead of trying to fight tooth and nail just to get on a bigger opportunity. Now what I'm seeing happen in Arizona is they are actually creating that opportunity amongst themselves. And they're kind of building these awesome little communities around the local music scene there. So I think Arizona's starting to build up into a good place where if you want to go out and play a show, like there's going to be people who just want to go experience live music now, like whatever it may be, whether it's their favorite band or they need something to do on a Friday night and they know that there's a good community of shows going on, they're heading down.
Yeah, that's I like that. Yeah, I mean, here, being a Wednesday here, I've been to a couple of shows here where bands have played in the middle of the week, and not a very good turnout, but I mean, so far it's looking good out there, man.
I'm excited.
Me too. So everybody, Erik from Escape the Fate, Out of the Shadows is out now. Check it out. Like I said, the album is fire. I listened to pretty much every song on it and can't find one that I really dislike. If you're a Spencer Charnas fan, that you got that tune there. Just look them up. So thanks a lot, Erik.
Hell yeah.
Pleasure talking to you, man.
Likewise, and rock on.
All right.